Hi everybody, Jessie here, and I'm back with another Inspire Me Monday video for Power Poppy. Shocker, we're not watercoloring. So for today's card, I pulled out the Poppy XL stamp set. I love this clear stamp. I will have links to all of the products used in the description box below. I have a piece of vellum, a little 4 by 5¼ inch front card panel, and then my top folding A2 size card, Ranger Liquid Platinum Embossing Powder, and then I have 3 Distress Oxides here. I have Abandoned Coral, Scattered Straw, and something Marigold. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So I did stick a little piece of Post-it tape to my fingers just to stop everything from sliding around. We're going to ink up our back piece, I can't speak apparently, with our Distress ink. So I'm going to blend from the yellow to the orange into the pink, and then we're going to keep everything super clean and simple from there on. Sometimes it's really nice to be able to just put a card together in a few minutes. I know I usually do super involved watercolors for you guys, but I really just kind of wanted to do something super simple and super fun and super clean and play with some inks and do a little bit of embossing and stuff like that. My craft room has been a disaster, and I've been crafting at my kitchen table. And I've decided that I'm no longer allowed to do that because I am currently having a craft room in the dining room and a craft room in the basement, and that's a little insane when people come over. So the craft room is still a disaster, hence the clean and simple card. We will get back into watercoloring. The next one will be a watercolor, I promise. But I'm just working on blending those colors, so I'm going in with like the darker colors. So like I went from the yellow to the orange and then back to the yellow, and now I'm going from the orange to the pink, and then I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the orange to make sure that I get that blending super smooth. The Post-it tape, I'm not sure if I mentioned, is simply just to stop me from putting a fingerprint on the card, especially with the Distress Oxides. It's super easy to go in and put a little mark on the card with your fingers, and I'm slightly off frame here. Like I said, I haven't filmed down here in a long time, so I'm hoping it'll get better. I have ordered myself a couple of soft boxes so that the lighting quality will be better and less harsh than using the alt lights that I'm currently using. So once I had that all blended, I took my little EK Success powder tool here, and I'm covering the front of the vellum. That's just in case there's any sort of static cling or oils from my finger or anything of that nature on it, so the embossing powder is only going to stick where I want it to stick. Shaking that off slightly, and I'm going to start with the big Poppy stamp, and I'm going to ink that up with my Versamark, and then we're going to stamp that one down on the paper. And we'll slowly build that up. So we'll add that one, and then we'll add the stem, and then we'll add the congrats sentiment, and after that we'll emboss it all with the liquid platinum, which I think is an absolutely beautiful embossing powder. I've had it in my stash for a very, very long time, and I kind of got away from using it, but I figured it would be fantastic on this card. Not quite black. I didn't want white. I've done a lot of rose gold lately, so I figured this would be a nice little change. I know it's hard for you guys to see where I've stamped the flower, but I can see it pretty clearly. That's why I just kind of freehanded in the stem there, and then we'll add in this little congrats. So my vellum piece is currently cut at 4 by 5¼ and I do cut 1/8 of an inch off either side of that, just so I can have our ink blended piece peeking out around it, just to give it a little bit more of a bright border. I didn't want it all washed out with the vellum. So now we'll sprinkle on our Ranger Liquid Platinum. I just have it in a tub here, probably because I lost the lid to the embossing powder, so I pour them in tubs when I do that because, hello, my craft room is a disaster. I should really clean this. I've been working on it. Next weekend. Ugh. I don't like cleaning the craft room, but I'll get it done. I mean, I can craft down here, like I have my big desk and stuff, but anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the card. So I didn't quite stamp it perfect in the corner there, and I tried to add a little bit more, hoping it would stick a little better. It didn't stamp perfect. That's all right. Nobody's going to notice on the finished card except for me, and now you, because I told you. So I'm heating up my little heat tool here. Well, this is a big one. This is Milwaukee. It's the same brand as the one Hero Arts now sells, but I love it because it gets super hot, and I haven't blown it up. I've been known to kill heat guns in a hurry. So I'm just moving this on the front and the back of the paper and moving it around fairly quickly. I don't want to bend that vellum. Vellum tends to warp and twist really, really fast. So I cut that one down off camera, and then I decided I wanted a little texture in the background. This is going to help hide the glue after. This is the whole reason for doing this. It's not necessarily that you're going to see a ton of it, but what you do see, you're not going to be able to mistake with the glue. So I put that on and let it sit for a minute. Then we'll dab it off with my rag here. I use rags, not paper towel. Then I wash them and reuse them. Just stops me from throwing away a ton of paper towel. I have like 10 or 15 of them. So there was a wet spot I wiped up. So now I have my top folding card base, and we're going to first stick on, I just used double-sided adhesive on the back, center our little panel here. And then I'm going to take this one, and this is painful, and I probably should cut most of this out, but I have Scotch Quick Dry, and I'm just going to kind of dab it on. Oh, it had cake, like sealed itself over. But I'm just going to dab some on the back of the card in behind where the embossing is, which will help hide the liquid glue from being as visible to everybody else. And it will also, what you do see will blend in with where I added the water onto the Distress Oxide background. So once we get that all glued down, I'm going to put a bunch in the flower. Then I'm going to drop a little bit up the stem, kind of where there's some embossing. And then just a couple spots on the sentiment. So once that's all done, I'm going to glue that down. I put my hand on top of it, and then I put a book on top of it, and I just let it sit for like a minute, not even, just to let that glue tack up. That's the beautiful thing about Scotch Quick Dry. It dries super fast. And then I'm going to come back. Ta-da! And then we're going to add like 3 dots up in the one corner and a couple dots in another corner and glue this down. So you're going to see it. It looks white right now, and then it dries clear, so it doesn't look perfect. But then I go over top of it at the end and add some white enamel dots just to help finish hiding all of that adhesive that I added into the background here. Getting that all pushed down, and that'll be it for this card, guys. So like I said, links to everything will be in the description box below. Oh, I have to add the enamel dots yet, but links to everything will be in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this real short, simple, clean and simple little card. It's not something I commonly do here on my channel, so let me know what you think of it in the description box below. If you guys enjoy these kind of cards and would like me to do more of them, I do lots of them. I just don't film them. So if it's something you guys would like to see, definitely let me know that down below. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I do lots of watercolor, Copic coloring, colored pencils, all that kind of fun stuff. I would love to have you hang out with me. A thumbs up on the video is always appreciated. It helps me a ton here on YouTube. And I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bye for now.